Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Big up to everyone over on Chelsea Fan TV. And welcome to your daily transfer update and another live stream, guys. And I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty good start to the week. We've had Mauricio Pochettino finally doing his first interview as Chelsea manager. Loads of great stuff in there. He's come across very well. I think I've certainly got myself, and I think a lot of the fan base very excited for the work that he's going to do. We'll get into the interview, dive into what he said. We've obviously also had the news on Chelsea have submitted a contract proposal to Romeo Lavia. There's strange links to buying Livramento back and then loaning him to Southampton, linked with another bloody Brazilian, Matthias Franca, for £25 million. We'll be getting into all that as well. We've got the AC Milan versus Lyon transfer war for Christian Pulisic. It looks like Gabri Veiga could be heading to PSG, and we could miss out on him to PSG. Obviously, we may therefore move for Rayan Cherki instead, the talented young player from Lyon. Mason Mount has completed his Manchester United medical, and there's loads and loads to get into, people. So, as always, make sure you smash the likes on both channels. Make sure you subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already, guys. And let's say hello to a few people in the chat before getting this show on the road, people. As always, guys, make sure you let me know where you're tuning in from around the world, and I'm going to say hello to a few of them, and we'll get into it. Yep, Chelsea have signed the sponsorship with Hilton to be as the global hotel brand. Just means that at away games, it's easy to find where the team hotel is because we're going to be staying in a Hilton. Yeah, Inc could be looking to sign Rayan Cherki, possibly. Vega's quality, if City are interested in him, then we should sign him up ASAP. Yeah, I mean, it looks like either we've taken too long, or maybe we weren't as interested as we made out, and we've got something else up our sleeve. Maybe Cherki. Shavindra, big up my guy. Daniel, hi. Michael, hope you're doing well. Rabid Blue Blood, big up. No, if we get Cherki, no, that's always good. Yes, sir. Come on, you Blues, as always. I'm very excited about upcoming season. Yes, so am I, mate. So am I. Blue for life, always will be. I like the part where he said we are animals. Yeah, we are animals. We are animals. That's the thing. Good emotion in there. I think he did. We're going to get into that new training kit. Looks great. Do you know what? Scrap launching the shirts. Let's just play in the training kit. Looks really good. Joseph, big up. They are tuning in from Serbia. Big up. Come on, you Blues. Newcastle just gave AC Milan 50 mil. They can up the Pulisic bid. Absolutely. Joseph, how are we doing? Give me Caicedo and a striker. Yeah, I mean, we'd love Caicedo. Forget Veiga and get Cherki. Would be nice. It's nothing to do with the shirts. It's just a hotel partnership. So it'll basically just mean that Chelsea are going to stay. I mean, there's probably a bit more to it, but Chelsea will essentially stay in Hilton hotels whenever they go to away matches, I would have thought. Why not play Reece with Caicedo and Enzo in the midfield? It's just not going to happen. That Pochettino interview got me excited. Absolutely, we're going to get into that. No, they're not replacing Trivago. They're not. They're just a hotel. They're just a hotel partner. It's nothing to do with sponsorship or anything like that. Yeah, from Nigeria, big up. No, I've seen the white first kit. We haven't got a white first kit. That's the training kit. Our training kit's so nice. Absolutely. Caicedo and Levy should be priority. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Good. 25 million only for Pulisic. I think we are going to struggle to get that. But let's dive into how due diligence is done in football. I don't really know what you're referring to, but I guess due diligence for me would be like doing all the necessary checks on a player, attitude, character, how they're going to fit into the system, their stats, their strengths, their weaknesses, and all that sort of thing. That would be my interpretation of doing due diligence. But yeah, people, let's get into the Pochettino interview. It was great to see him there. Great start to the week. He looks happy. He looks refreshed. He looks excited to be there. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, another day of no bidding. I hear you, bro. That is a little bit of a concern for me. Obviously, it was still early-ish in the window. The week's still only on the first day, but I fully hear you. I was just saying over on Lawrence's channel that you are getting to a situation where what are we waiting for to bid? We've sold a load of players. We're not short of money. I'm not sure what we're waiting for, to be honest. Yeah, all good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Up the Chelsea players. Yeah, they'll start coming back. The first ones will start coming back. I don't think they'll all be back tomorrow, but the first ones will start dripping back. Yeah, I believe tomorrow is the first training session. As I was saying, I'm not sure how many players are going to be there. Chelsea are doing work behind closed doors. Yeah, look, they obviously will be. But yeah, obviously the fact that there's no bids have really gone in for players is, I don't want to say it's a concern, but you do want to we do need to slightly get a move on, if I'm being totally honest, because you just run the risk of, because we're taking so long on the Caicedo thing, you run the risk of missing out on other targets. You know, supposedly interested in Veiga, we've kind of I'm not saying we've wasted time, but you know, we're now in a situation where it looks like he could go to PSG because we've not really dealt with the situation. Newcastle pay 55 mil and we won't. Yeah, I don't think we want him, unfortunately. It's like Chelsea need just Caicedo. Yeah, we're going to get him. Well, no, I know. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that's been in place for a long time or not. I'm not really too sure. Chelsea, please sign Caicedo, Cherki, Lavia, and Eze. Eze for goalkeeper. I don't know who you mean by that. Get us Nick Pope, not Kepa. Saudi money is still going to end up at Chelsea. Newcastle to Milan to Chelsea. How many players do you think we need? 2 midfielders for me, a centre forward, and like a sort of a number 10 type player as well. Yeah, Trivago have only ever sponsored the training kit. It looks great with Trivago, but ultimately money talks, and Trivago aren't going to be able to offer anywhere near as much money as some of these other companies for a main shirt sponsor. What do I think of the Vlahovic links? Look, again, that they hold some interest there, but other than that, there's nothing really there, to be honest, on Vlahovic. Yeah, Chelsea got an interest in players, but Chelsea have an interest in a load of players. I think Dusan Vlahovic is a decent player and could do well for us, but at this point in time, it isn't really going anywhere at the moment. Eze, right? Yeah, Eze would be good. I mean, I think there's probably more. It would be easier to get a lease rather than Eze. But again, I think Eze is a very good player. Captain America doesn't want to go to Lyon, which is bidding way more than Milan. Ultimately, players have all the power. We're just going to have to make sure that Milan up their offer. I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about him until found out we signed him last week. I think there's obviously talent there. I think he's going to go on loan to Strasbourg, and then we move from there and we see what happens. But yeah, people, let's get into this. No more news on Caicedo. Everything is exactly the same as it was yesterday, and it has been for the last week or so. No, not a bid. We've submitted a contract proposal to him, reportedly. Rumours, yeah, we're going to get into that as well. Is there any links with a lease to Chelsea? Not really. Not at this point in time, no. But that could change. Getting a bit worried we're going to end up of course we're not. Is it time for Chelsea to step up? Look, I think we are. Look, I think it's important to say that whilst on the face of it, it doesn't look like we're doing anything else. I think we are. I don't think we're literally just waiting for the Caicedo situation to be sorted before moving on anything else. I think we will be working on other things, but it's absolutely clear that the club's priority does seem to be Moises Caicedo, and it doesn't look like much else is going on. But just because we've not heard about it publicly, it certainly doesn't mean that other stuff isn't going on. That's for sure. Livramento, I agree on this. I'll get into this shortly. Lavia, Caicedo, and a goalkeeper. Yeah, fair. But yeah, no, that will happen. He will move on wherever he goes. Yes, people, keep smashing that like button. I know we're only 8 minutes in. It's a little bit early to mention it, but it has been mentioned. So let's get these likes up, guys. Let's get the likes up, people. I want minimum. I mean, last 3 streams, guys, we've hit 100 likes on my channel. 100 likes is going to be the same aim again today. So let's run those likes up. Let's try and get 200 likes over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. Don't be shy, guys. Hover over that thumb button. Give it a click. It's free. It takes seconds. I appreciate all of your support. You're tuning in. You're getting involved in the chat. A little click of the thumb button is massively appreciated. Let's get these likes rocketing up on both channels, people. Right. We're going to get into it now. I'm just going to get through these. Last week, they need to back Poch. Yeah, we have got a good coach. Yeah, we need to move fast. We do. Now that we have Pochettino, let's sign Caicedo, Cherki, Lavia. I mean, Caicedo, Cherki, Lavia, I think is realistic. Eze, I don't think there's any chance. No, we haven't bid. We've just submitted him a contract proposal. Poch delivering a much better first impression. Absolutely. 300 likes, easy. Yeah, 300 likes. Ruben Diaz is saying it. 300 likes. Listen to the man. I feel something will happen this week on Caicedo. I hope so. I've been feeling it. I've been waking up every day thinking, is it today going to be the day that we get some action on Moises Caicedo? And it's not. Fed up with us dealing with these Serie A clubs. We're getting low. Yeah, Pulisic at 12 mil is a fucking disrespect. Is a disrespect. Not signing a goalkeeper this window is worrying because we can't have, but no, we will sign a goalkeeper this window. I just don't think it's going to be a first choice goalkeeper. It'll be someone, well, it'll be a number 2, but the club will phrase it as a goalkeeper. To a contract proposal just means that we've submitted a contract offer in terms of we would have sounded him out. This is the offer that we'd be prepared to give you. Would you be interested? Because now the way that things are done is clubs through intermediaries or through agents or whatever it is will reach out to a proposed player and say, look, this is what we'd offer you. Would you be prepared to accept that before then submitting an offer? Because you need to make sure you've got player buy-in first before submitting a bid to the club. There's no point agreeing a fee with a club if you haven't agreed anything with the player. So agree with the player first that they're keen to come, then sort the fee out. We're missing out on Lavius till someone submits a bid. Send Pulisic to Lyon. It's not as simple as that. They have to do everything possible to speed up. We can't trust Capitano. I think for one more season it'll be fine. He will. Sterling's not going anywhere. 400 likes. Well, whatever we can do, people, let's get the likes up. Hopefully we'll give Poch time and the fans not put under pressure on him by making top 4 a must. We all saw how. Yeah, no, agreed. Yes, big up my guy. I'd probably prefer Veiga, but I'd be happy with either, to be honest. I'd rather stick with Jackson. Fair. Xhaka is going for 25 mil. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to sell him for 12 mil. Well, potentially, it looks like they've just moved ahead of us. We never submitted a bid. It looks like they have moved to the front of the queue. We're going to get into this. Ziyech won't stay. Hopefully Pochettino gets fit. Big up Eunice. Love from the. I'm not called Eunice, but okay. Yeah. Jackson a backup like Broya. We need a top class killer up front this season. Yeah, possibly. They have to fast track things. For our goalkeeper, let's get Nick Pope. We're not going to get Nick Pope. Martinez, but not Kepa. Fair. Right. Guys, we're going to get into this now. We're going to just have a little look through. We're not going to watch the interview or anything like that. We're just going to have a little discussion on a few of the quotes. And as always, Ben Jacobs has provided a lovely thread, as he does. So Pochettino talking about the project from the beginning. Just look at him in that training gear. He is just the guy. Look at him. You know, he's oozing a bit of aura. I know people hate that word and they hate it talking about it, but he's oozing a bit of aura, a bit of class. You know, he's ready to be there. Yes, the photographer's probably telling him to pose in a certain way and all that, but he looks like the guy. You know, he's the man that's going to hopefully take us to where we need to be. But he looks great as well. Training kit looks phenomenal as well. By the way, Pochettino on the project. From the beginning, the owners and the sporting directors were very clear about the project, and we were very excited to join them. We are here to try and help the club and the fans. There's always ups and downs in history of football, but the history of the club is to be at the top. Players and staff need to feel like this is our home. It's not only a place to come to work, it's our responsibility to give some guidance to create this feeling, and we are fully committed to trying to create a big atmosphere. So obviously, he has said a lot, but I think the big thing for me is that, you know, the way he's come across, he gets what it means to be at a big football club. He understands the task at hand. He understands the history of the club. He understands that he needs to win. He's talking about leadership, not being followers, but leaders. He's talking about creating a winning environment, talking about making the training ground feel like a home rather than a place of work. These are all things that have needed to change, all things that we've been talking about for a number of years as Chelsea fans. You know, we haven't got a winning mentality. We haven't got a winning culture at the club at this point in time. You know, we haven't got the Cobham doesn't feel like a home. It feels very much just like a place of work where you just turn up, do your training and go home. It needs to feel like a home. You need to be happy to be there. It needs to be a good environment. We need to create an environment that's conducive to winning. All these things are really important. I think the thing that he said on leadership was key as well. The fact that, you know, he's look, obviously, of course, he's happy to be here, but the way he speaks about the club, he gets what it means to be at a big club. And these are all important things. These are things that you want to hear from the manager. And of course, you know, saying the right things is one thing. This is all we've got to go off so far. But what he's been talking about is, as far as a first interview goes and a first official communication with the fans, it's like it couldn't have gone much better. He's ticked all the right boxes. He's said all the right things. He's addressed major issues that need addressing. He speaks like a man with experience. He knows what it means to be at a top club. He understands. He's already say that Chelsea's the greatest club in England, so Spurs are going to have to hold that on that one. And yeah, look, he's refreshed. He said as much. He's refreshed. He's ready to go, and he's ready to get stuck into work. And I think that's that's a really exciting thing to have a refreshed, fully charged Pochettino ready to go. We know that he does good work. We know that, he's going to get the team fit. He said all the right things. And, it's a great start to the week to have that interview. But yeah, guys in the chat, let me know your thoughts on what you thought of the quotes, what you thought of what he was saying. Does it excite you? Do you think he's spoken well? Ultimately, these are all just words, and what will be and what will really matter is what he does on the pitch and how he gets the team playing. But as far as starts go, he's absolutely smashed this interview. If there's such a thing as that, there's night and day in terms of the difference between this interview and the one that Graham Potter did. No disrespect to Graham Potter, but you can tell that he didn't really know what it was like to be at a big club. It was almost like he kind of won a competition and sort of landed on his lap and just somehow ended up at Chelsea. He wasn't quite sure how to handle it. Pochettino knows big dressing rooms, big egos. He's managed at PSG. No bigger egos than those in the PSG dressing room. That's very difficult to manage. But yeah, look, I think he's made a great start. He's come across really well, which is great. And let's see how we do get on with him. I'm going to be excited to see the training photos tomorrow. More media as we go through the preseason. But yeah, guys in the chat, let me know. Are you excited by the Pochettino interview? What be your thoughts on it? Get a few comments in there, people. Spurs hold that with both hands. Excited. We shouldn't buy a striker. Hudson-Odoi. How about Hudson-Odoi for Turkey? Well, that'd be great, but football's never as simple as that. It never quite works out in that way. But yeah, all in all, a good start for Pochettino. Great to see him here. Looking forward to him getting stuck in and starting work on the training pitch. This is where the really important work begins for next season, where the foundations are going to be laid. I think he's someone that you would go to battle with. You'd go to war with for him. You talking about being animals, dying for the shirt, and all that sort of thing, making us proud. Like we're going to do the shirt proud every time that we put it on, and all that sort of thing. All those things are really important because all those things are things that have been missing. And I trust that Pochettino is going to be the sort of guy that will absolutely will absolutely do that. He will instill that never say die attitude and instill that fight in the team as well. So yeah, really important. He has got that aura. It's Pochettino time. It's a new era, guys. But I thought I was really impressed with the things that he said. We've got to create an environment where winning is conducive. Talking about players that want to be here. Talking about all the right things, ticking the boxes and saying the right things. But for me, I think the big difference is that he will actually follow through and do his absolute best to try and get these things done. I think you can tell by the work that he did at Spurs. You can tell by the way that he's managed at big clubs such as PSG and big egos that he knows what it takes to succeed at a big club. He knows how to manage players. We've got a very, very good squad. Whatever people say, we have got a very good squad. There's not many managers in world football that wouldn't want to work with the squad that Chelsea have got. We've got a great blend of exciting young players that, the sort of players that he likes to work with, that he can improve and mold into the way that he wants them to play. So, this all bodes well for the future. What's your thoughts on Amari Hutchinson? No, I think he'll be loaned out. Great guy, this Poch, and has minerals. Let's hope he'll deliver. Absolutely, mate. Here's non-negotiables. None of this, it happens, BS. Yeah, non-negotiables. Absolutely non-negotiables. That's what you need, though. You've got to come in and from day one, you've got to lay the law down, set your non-negotiables. And if people don't meet that, they're going to be disciplined or they're out the door. It's as simple as that. Well liked by the media. He's a good manager. Question is he a world-class manager? I think he's got potential to be for sure, but he definitely needs to win at Chelsea. Definitely. Marassa fell, Vanderfeld, the Cockfeld, so it's not worth going for another big striker. I hear that. He knows the Chelsea standards. He wants to win, and he can deliver that over time. I agree on this. Brewer and Jackson will want to compete for that striker spot, healthy competition. Only striker I'd get is Osimhen, and he is so unrealistic. I agree on that. But yeah, just to kind of round out the Pochettino segment, people, like it's great. He's arrived. He gives us hope. He gives us belief. He's got the fan base excited. Yes, there's going to be certain sections of the fan base that can't get behind him because of the Spurs link. So the only way you're going to get people back on side is by winning on the football pitch and letting the results do the talking for you. But ultimately, it's in everyone's interest that supports the club and is part of the club to get behind the manager. Because if we all get behind the manager, support the manager, it's going to increase the chances that the team are going to do well on the pitch as well. And ultimately, that's what we all want. And I would always back a manager until I'm given a reason by the manager not to back him anymore. And that's for me, that's the way that it should always be. We've done that one. Pochettino has arrived and he gives us the hope, belief, confidence that Chelsea is on the right track to top four. Pochettino needs our support and the proper tools like Caicedo, Eze, Lavia, Cherki. I mean, I don't think there's any chance on Eze, but certainly the other ones are a definite possibility. Is he the one who got Tottenham to CL final? Yeah, he got Spurs to the CL final. That's a big achievement. PSG are taking it personally on Chelsea. Yeah, it looks like they are. I saw a rumor about a Savic being offered to Chelsea. We need to be that Balak region. I haven't or Milinkovic Savic, you mean, or someone else. But yeah, guys, we're going to move away from the Pochettino stuff. But yeah, an exciting interview, great stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing the training pictures tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing us getting underway, players coming back to work, building a good base over this couple of weeks before we jet out to the States where the real work begins. And it absolutely is exciting time. So let's look ahead of it. We can have a smile on our faces and we've got lots to be positive about. But now the club needs to hold up their part of the bargain where they bring in the players that we need so that Pochettino can succeed for Chelsea next season. Absolutely. Pochettino wins trophies. Yep. We are always linked to Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, but he never goes. He's a year after. Yeah, this happens every year. It's the same thing I was saying the other day with Koulibaly. Koulibaly for years and years was linked with a move away, never left. It's the same with Milinkovic-Savic. And I think, supposedly so. We're going to get into all this now, right? Let's move away from the Pochettino stuff, people. We are going to get into the transfer news. That is why we are here. Transfer news. We all love it. So here we are, guys. Let's start with, I'll tell you what, let's just start with the latest news first, and then we will move back to some other bits and pieces. What am I looking for? What's the latest news? Let's start with the latest news from here. Let's start on Romeo Lavia. Nope, that's the wrong one. Stop showing on that one. We're going to start with the Romeo Lavia news, which is the latest news that has broken over the last half an hour or so. So Chelsea have, so according to Santi Auna, I think a very reliable journalist, he's very good. Chelsea have submitted a contract proposal to Romeo Lavia. Liverpool have met his entourage on several occasions in recent weeks. Southampton have not yet received an official offer. So seemingly having been sort of near the front of the queue, he's kind of slipped back a little bit. Arsenal have had contact. Liverpool have had contact as well. Now, according to Santi, we have submitted a contract proposal to the player, which means that we are obviously keen. We are still serious. Let's wait and see if he accepts. But I just hope that this isn't kind of like a realization that, maybe we can't get Caicedo or something like that. I don't think it is. I think we definitely need to. And this would be a great one to get wrapped up. Liverpool are sniffing, and it is going to be tough to beat them to his signature. I think, obviously, I know Liverpool haven't got Champions League to offer at this point in time. They're Europa League, but I don't know. There's going to be more opportunity of him getting more regular minutes in that Liverpool midfield. I'm not too sure, but supposedly Chelsea have offered a contract offer to Lavia. And the way I see it is, like, obviously we're going to have targets on the list. You're going to have like your number one, your number two, number three, etc. I think when you get to a point where it's clear that Caicedo is number one, Lavia probably is number two. But if you can't get any of your top two targets, rather than going for the third choice, I actually think we'd be better off giving Santos, Casadei, Chukwuemeka more of a chance rather than going to spend 40, 50 million quid on another midfield player. It's an interesting one. Look, I'd certainly say that if we were able to sign Caicedo and Lavia this window, then it would absolutely make a huge difference. It really would. And I'd say that would be a successful like midfield rebuild in that sense. I think a lot of us would have definitely signed for Caicedo and Lavia at the start of this window. But at the same time, there's a few of you in the chat that's saying you're not that impressed by it. Why is that, guys? Why is that? Southampton want 50 mil. When you see Thuram and Kone half the price, or at least 20 mil less, he's overpriced because of PL proven. Southampton won't get 50 million for him. They absolutely won't. I think Liverpool will get Lavia. I think you could be right, mate. I think, obviously we've submitted the proposal. Let's wait and see what the proposal is. But again, it's going to be down to the player ultimately and his preference. I think we can match or easily offer more than what Liverpool can offer. But it's going to be about first-team opportunities. It's going to be about what projects he thinks more exciting and ultimately where he wants to go and play. Yes, of course, you've got the advantage by having Joe Shields on as part of the team, who knows him from Man City, who knows him from Southampton as well. So that could be an advantage in that situation there. But ultimately, this is going to very much come down to player choice. We need to get Caicedo wrapped up before doing this Lavia deal. Well, to be fair, you can work on multiple deals at the same time. I'm sure like this Lavia deal won't be particularly tricky to do. I don't want to like undersell it or anything. I don't think it'll be too difficult to get sorted out. Very uninspiring news. John, what sort of news are you wanting, mate? Let me know. Can it be that we step out from Caicedo? No, I don't think so. I'd be shocked if we stepped out of Caicedo. There's no reason for us whatsoever to step out of the Caicedo move. Absolutely no. There's no need for us to do that. But I mean, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that front, people. But Lavia, I think, could be good. He's probably going to join Liverpool if I'm being realistic. I would agree on that front, but at least we need to put ourselves in the race and give the player a decision to make. That's all we can do. Yep, defensive midfielder. Liverpool always have that pull, UCL or not. Yeah, Liverpool are one of those teams that do, regardless of whether they got European football or not, they've got pull. Like us, Santos better than Lavia. I haven't seen enough of Santos to suggest that, but I think Santos is very highly thought of. I agree with you. What's this? Is this to do with the Brazilian player? We're going to get into that in a sec. Let's wait and see on that. But yeah, I think that's what you're referring to. We'll get into that. Big up, Charlie. No, I appreciate that, my guy. Thank you. Chelsea delayed to sign players too much. Again, it's difficult to look on the face of it. It would seem like that, but obviously we don't know what's going on, what the hold-ups are, what the wait is for. Look, I believe the Caicedo thing potentially is that we're trying to find out what price Brighton want so that we can pretty much offer it first bid, so there's no drawn-out negotiation. I'm not really sure. To be honest, I don't know what's going on. We need to sign Caicedo ASAP. Absolutely, Green Panda. Why haven't we bid for Caicedo? Mate, I'd love to know the answer to that. I don't know what the answer is to that question, unfortunately. So if I can find out, I'll let you know. But I don't know. That is the question that everyone wants to know the answer to. True, but the pace Liverpool is moving with their transfer business. Yeah, Liverpool are moving quick. Liverpool quietly having a really good window. McAllister and Szoboszlai is a very, very good window. No two ways about it. I think all those young players should fight for their spot. 20 minutes per game is the max for me. Maybe. Lavia is a 19-year-old that can develop and get better than... I don't say better than Caicedo, but he can certainly develop and he's got a high ceiling for sure. Chelsea spending all the money on Brazilian kids. Looks like it. Liverpool don't delay with their transfers while we take ages. Look, it certainly appears that way. I guess they just work silently and not a lot comes out on it. It was literally of Liverpool, no real links to Szoboszlai, and then bang, one link comes out from Ornstein and it's done later that day. Any news on that? Nope, absolutely not. No news on that at all. We haven't got a sponsor yet, so until we get a sponsor, there's nothing that we can that we can do about that. Unfortunately, how do I make a football transfers Insta? Just create an Instagram page and start posting. Yeah, Caicedo's 21s. Look, I don't know anything about him. Clearly a talented boy, over 100 games for Santos. He's going to go on loan to Strasbourg, I think. Let's see what happens. Caicedo, a striker and a new goalkeeper. I would agree on that. Yeah, I think Lavia would be a big addition. I think people are slightly playing down how big the Lavia addition could be. I think he's a really talented player. Look, that's the way that I would look at it. Talented player, going to go out on loan. If he does well, then we get ourselves a decent player for the first team for pretty cheap. If he doesn't do well, then we can probably sell him for profit. But yeah, I understand it is a bit frustrating. People need to calm down. Caicedo will happen. It's happening behind the scenes. We don't want it in public. Yeah, I do agree with that to a certain extent as well. But the longer it goes on for, I guess the more worry that does start to creep in. There's no denying it. Liverpool delayed mid. Yeah, they were the same as us. Liverpool had neglected the midfield for years. We've neglected our midfield for years as well. What else have we got? Other teams don't have much dead wood they have to let go of compared to us. That's probably... Yeah, I would agree on that. Other teams haven't got to get rid of anywhere near as many players as us. And whether we want to admit it or not, the absolute priority for the first part of this window was to get rid of as many players as we possibly can. I think it's fair to say we've done a fucking good job on that front. Strasbourg are going to cook with all these Brazilian kids. Gonna good way to take the piss out of PSG. Yeah, to be fair, they're sending all these players to Strasbourg. If we do, we could be cooking up a bit of a title charge against PSG to try and dethrone them. But yeah, guys, it looks like Chelsea are still keen. Yep, Chelsea Liverpool. I will be there. Chelsea Liverpool. Liverpool pay the player release clause. Yeah, they did on the McAllister. Szoboszlai as well. They did, but they got it. They moved quickly. But yeah, look. Do you know what? It looks like for me, Chelsea is still interested in Lavia. I think Lavia would be a very good signing. It would certainly be a good addition. He's a very good player already. High ceiling, high potential, and Pochettino could certainly develop him into a top player. I would agree that the only downside is potentially the price. I think you've got, particularly for a player that's in the Championship, you've got to be looking at less than 50 million quid. You know, you can't be going more than 50 million in my opinion. It's just too much, considering that Man City's buyback clause that comes in, buyback option that comes in 2024, you know, is 42 million pounds. Now, Southampton are guaranteed potentially 42 million pounds in summer 24. So if they're gonna sell now, they're potentially gonna want to try and get more than that. I think 45 million pounds, maybe with some add-ons in there, would be a very good deal. I think it's something that Chelsea should absolutely look to press ahead with. But that's kind of the latest news on Lavia, is that it appears to be that it's going to be between Chelsea and Liverpool for his signature. But it's important to stress that Southampton haven't received any official offers from anyone. So it's very much just meeting with the players' entourages, agents, and all that sort of thing to sort of sound him out over a deal, and whether he would be interested in coming to Chelsea. And if he is, then we can look to push ahead on that front. But yeah, absolutely, it's not. Look, it's a step in the right direction for sure, but it's not. I guess it's not the exciting news that we were potentially all hoping for in that situation. But yeah, look, I think it's as I said, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think it's exciting. Let's kind of wait and see what happens on that front and how it develops. Yeah, I think we will get Caicedo, guys. We just need to be patient. Yeah, that's the latest on Romeo Lavia. Let's move away from Romeo Lavia, guys, and let's move on to quickly talking about Rayan Cherki. So this from Jacob Steinberg in The Guardian. Let's just get this one up, guys. Where are we here? So it's saying earlier that Chelsea's priority is to secure a deal for Moises Caicedo, and they're still interested in Romeo Lavia, as that news that came out recently from Santi would back up. Chelsea could look to add more creativity by moving for Lyon youngster Rayan Cherki. Now, I know that Cherki obviously is exciting a lot of people, 19 years of age. Urban Gaming, no new updates on Moises Caicedo at all at this point in time. Absolutely no updates on Caicedo other than what's been out there and being reported. You know what, guys? Just at that point in time, I've realised I've not actually told you to subscribe to either channel at this point in time. We're over half an hour and I've not mentioned it. So, guys, please keep running the likes up. It's massively appreciated. And make sure that you subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already. I would greatly appreciate all of your support. It means a lot to me. I'm looking to get to 4,000 subscribers before the season starts, ideally as quickly as possible. And at Chelsea Fan TV, we're looking to make our way to 200k as quickly as possible as well. So every new subscriber is greatly appreciated. So if you're in the chat now and you haven't subscribed, then it would be great if you could just click that subscribe button on both channels. It massively helps us out, and it means more than you could imagine. And keep hitting those likes, guys. Let's get Chelsea Fan TV up and over 100 likes, guys. I'm on 45 likes. Let's try and get me minimum 50 likes, but let's get well on our way to 100 likes, people. Run those likes up, guys. It's free. It takes seconds. Just one click of that thumb button, and it massively helps out more than you could ever imagine. I wouldn't mention it if it didn't help out and it didn't mean a lot. So yeah, if you could hit the likes, people, that would be fantastic. That's the plan, Urban Gaming. That is the plan. And why do we need Cherki? He's not a mid striker. He's not a Havertz number 2. Daz, appreciate you, my guy. Big up yourself. Jacob, big up. Yeah. So look. So in regards to Rayan Cherki, he's a very talented 19-year-old player. Daily CFC focus. Big up yourself. Appreciate that. Guys, if you subscribed to my channel or to Chelsea Fan TV, let me know in the chat and I can thank you because it does mean a lot to me. So if you've subscribed to my channel or just subscribed to Chelsea Fan TV, guys, make sure you let me know in the chat, guys. Where are we in terms of what I was going on? So yeah, so Rayan Cherki, obviously 19 years of age, plays predominantly as a number 10, but can obviously play wide as well. He would be, I would say that he would be some sort of a replacement for Mason Mount. He'd be a backup for Christopher Nkunku. Could even be a fourth choice as a winger as well. I say fourth choice, but he would be a fourth option. NX, big up yourself again. Look, I think it would be. I think Cherki's a very exciting talent. Yes, he's raw. He's rough around the edges. He needs polishing. But I don't know how much money he's cost. Obviously, Chelsea have got very good relationship with Lyon. Lyon are also owned by an American. Chelsea got good relationship with the Lyon owner because of the negotiations with Gusto. The club get on well, so I don't think it would be difficult to negotiate for Cherki. I think Lyon do need money, but I do think it would be big up yourself. Appreciate that, Raymond. Yeah, look, I do think it would be a great signing, but again, it's another player with an enormous amount of potential that would need patience. He would hit the ground running. He's exciting. Look, I think he's both footed. He's very skillful. Got a bit of an eye for goal. I think he could definitely play as a rotational option to Nkunku and as another option on either flank if we needed it. But again, it's kind of that thing for me where you look at it and you're just like, well, people bang on about getting experience, but yet everyone's hyping up and really excited to sign a 19-year-old kid. So I don't really know what the situation is. What the situation is with us on this one. Maybe we've just accepted the fact that we probably aren't going to be looking to sign any experienced players or experienced players that we would be happy with. But yeah, I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens on this one. Maybe we could potentially use him as part of the Pulisic deal, although I don't think Pulisic wants to go there. Yeah, Mason Mount passed his medical today, so it's only a matter of time until there is an official announcement. I just said Cherki's not needed when Nkunku is there, and they don't want to be backup. We don't know that he doesn't want to be backup. He would be a rotational option. I think he would get plenty of minutes. It just depends who else is interested in him again, because he's only 19. Like PSG, I hate talking about PSG because they just seem to be all over all our contacts, all our targets at the moment. But what you would have to say is that PSG are clearly, for me, in my perspective, they need to change tact, and I think they are in this window. But sign the best talent from within their domestic league. And stop just going for big names and players with big egos. And Cherki would certainly fit that bill. So if Chelsea is serious and they want Rayan Cherki, then we need to move quickly so that we avoid missing out on other players. I think Sterling and Madueke will rotate down that right-hand side. But yeah, that's kind of the... no, Colton, I appreciate that, my guy. I appreciate that. I think now is the best time to invest in the facilities at Stamford Bridge and Cobham. Going to City v Chelsea showed me how much further ahead they are as a club on the whole. Yeah, I was at the Etihad as well last season. The stadium's miles better. I obviously haven't seen the training ground or anything, but yeah, the stadium is a lot better. No two ways about it. Done that one. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to at this point in time. And if it means that we can spend more money on a goalkeeper, more money on a centre forward and midfield and stuff, then I'm for it. No strikers worth the fee currently in the market. I would probably tend to agree with that. Cherki's class. Yeah, I think he is class. But again, how much do we want him? I think it's important to stress that it just says we could look to him. So there's not saying that we will or anything like that. But there's I don't know what sort of options we want on the market at that number 10. So yeah, let's kind of wait and see on that one. Pochettino, good working with youngsters. He is. I like Veiga. We're going to move on to that Veiga thing in a sec. Done that. Vlahovic, Vid, not known. That's false. But Chelsea do have an interest in the player. At some point, we just need to stop buying these random kids and buy some serious players for the first team. I would also agree on that. Good player. Pretty sure Brighton are being Brighton. I don't see Caicedo being quick. No, I don't see it either. How would you feel if Mount scored against Chelsea next season? I kind of expected it. I'm sort of expecting Mount and Havertz to both score against us because that's just how it goes. It's promising that we have a focus on creativity. It's been our issue for years. Agreed on that. I absolutely agree on what you said there. Amrabat's a good player as well. I don't know if Chelsea are particularly linked with him or there's any interest in him on our behalf, but he would certainly be a good player. They're not random kids, no ball knowledge. Fair. We need to sign Moises Caicedo. Yeah, we do. Mount to Manchester United is heart crushing. Yeah, it is a real shame. It is a real shame. I'll be interested to see what his farewell message to Chelsea is like and whatnot, and whether he talks about what happened or not. If Poch doesn't do good, reckon he'll get sacked. Well, eventually, if he doesn't do very well, he will. But no, I don't think he's under any pressure this season whatsoever. I'd be shocked if that were the case. But yeah, obviously confirming that I think Caicedo and Lavia are kind of going to be the two targets for us in midfield. Rayan Cherki could be a possibility, but let's quickly move on to the other news about Gabri Veiga potentially heading to Paris Saint-Germain. Now, Santi again saying that Paris have made progress in recent hours on the signing of Gabri Veiga. PSG want to close the deal quickly and get ahead of the competition. Paris would ideally like to make him pass his medical examination at the end of the week. So it's clear PSG are moving fast on this deal. Now, if Chelsea genuinely have interest in Gabri Veiga, then we need to move fast to get this done because it looks like PSG want to get a deal wrapped up by the end of this week, which doesn't leave us much time to get things done. Look, I think it's a little bit of an odd one for me in terms of like we've been like briefed that there's a report that Chelsea hold interest, they're interested in the player and whatnot, they're preparing to do a bid and stuff, and nothing's come of it. And now suddenly we get this news today that PSG are looking to conclude a deal by the end of the week. And it's kind of weird that, like, were we really that interested in him in the first place? Have we just kind of wasted too much time and fucked about on the Caicedo deal, outgoings and other bits and pieces, and we haven't and we've kind of been caught. Colwell doesn't want to leave Urban Gaming. Colwell just doesn't want to leave. That's not true. Close the file quickly. I don't know. I think we are. The problem that I've got is that because we seem to have all our focus and energy on this Caicedo deal, because it's going to be a massive deal for us, we're kind of sleeping a little bit on other deals, and we seem to just be interested in players, wanting to get players or whatever, and then before we know it, we've missed out on them, and they've gone somewhere else. So I do worry that we seem to be moving a little bit slowly on this front. Again, maybe we weren't that interested in Veiga. Maybe it was more interest than was being let on. But it's certainly an interesting one because I thought that Chelsea would have been quite keen to get Gabri Veiga. They would have been keen to move. Again, I'm not sure. Is he keen to go to Paris Saint-Germain? Of course, if they think they can do a deal by the end of the week, then they must have spoken to the player and have some idea that he would be happy to join them. Again, for Chelsea, I think he would be good for us, but I don't understand why we've not made a move. We must have been able to ascertain if Veiga is keen to join the club. And it's not a difficult deal. It's not a difficult deal to do either because it's a £34 million release clause. It's not a lot of money in football terms these days. You would just negotiate whether you'd pay it all up front or in a couple of installments or whatever. But that should be a very easy deal to get done. But seemingly we've either not as interested as we made out, or we have just been slow on the uptake again. It's hard to say what the situation is. But for me, it is a slight concern that whilst we're so focused on Caicedo, we're seemingly letting other targets potentially slip through the net. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let's get to a few things. I'm seeing a few things coming in. What's the point in going for so many youngsters? I think that's kind of the new way that we're looking at operating, the new way that we're trying to do things. Unfortunately, mate, that's kind of the way it seems to be. Madueke is good, no doubt, but not creative crosses. I think Madueke will definitely get a lot better. He's looked good for the 21s, and I'm excited for sure to see how he does. Absolutely. They don't even need him. They're just trying to F us over. Maybe who would have thought that a fax machine let down over Ziyech would have caused so much bad blood between the two clubs. It looks like they're just taking all our targets, but who knows? One player at a time approach is not good enough. I think I would agree it's not, but I don't know if that's definitely the case. It just appears that way from the outside looking in. PSG will never win Champions League. I think they will eventually, but not anytime soon. Do you think Turkey will happen? If the interest is concrete and Chelsea want the player, then I think there's absolutely every chance that it can happen and it possibly would happen. But at this point in time, it just says could look to. So it's important to understand the wording there. No, not for me. It's someone that gets banded about every single year for a move and never moves. And there's obviously a reason for that. All that Colwell news is BS. Yeah, for sure. Do you have your own Twitter account? Yeah, I do have my own Twitter account. I'll put it on the screen now. Let me just get it on the screen, guys. I'll just turn it on. That is my Twitter handle on the screen now, guys. So if anyone wants to go and follow me on Twitter, then they're more than welcome to do so. I'm actually only 60 followers away from 2K. So if you guys fancy following me on Twitter, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, it's on the screen now for whoever was asking. What else have we got here? We don't need Veiga. Caicedo, striker and goalkeepers are only transfers we need. I would say that we need another creative midfielder, like a number 10 backup or something like that. I do think that is needed. Colwell demanding minutes, he will move, but he will move without guarantees. Another one that will be showing the door. No, I don't think that's the case, mate. Lots of the players we are looking at probably want Champions League football, really. Yeah, but because they're so young now, I don't think Chelsea are going to be out of the Champions League for years and years. So that shouldn't be a massive problem. It should be more at the bigger picture. We need 2 world-class mids and 1 more strength striker for depth. Yeah, I agree on that. Our squad now reminds me of the transfer ban season. Yeah, but this is important to remember, guys, that the season's not starting for another 6 weeks. So the squad in 6 weeks' time is going to be very, very different to the squad that we're looking at right now at this point in time. That's for sure. We have just had a super chat come in as well, which is greatly appreciated. At some point, that's already done that. At least we are getting rid of deadwood players. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've always maintained. This kind of June was all about getting rid of as many players as possible, and now July is going to fully focus on those incomings. I think Caicedo alone gets us back into the Champions League. Then we can go again for bigger players next season. Osimhen might not be available next season. Let's wait and see. Does Brozier want out? No, I don't believe so. Maybe when we get back into the UCL, we might start buying some experience, possibly. cfctvyt. Big up, my guy. Cheers for tuning in, as always. Do you think Chelsea will finish top 4? That's a big question. I think it could be tough. We've definitely got a chance because we're only playing once a week. But the big key to that is what recruitment we do in the remainder of this window. That's going to have the biggest impact on whether we finish top 4 or not. They won't. If we wanted Veiga, we would go for him. People just assuming. You would imagine that we just go for him, but strange things do seem to happen with Chelsea. You would imagine we'd go for him if we wanted him, but Mount is a snake and I hate him now. Fair. Top 6 at best. I think, look, the biggest thing is that we get back into the Champions League and we hopefully win a domestic cup. But getting back into the Champions League has to be the number 1 aim. Victor Osimhen, true or false? I don't think. Look, Chelsea appreciate the player, but I don't think there's much chance of us getting him. PSG linked with Veiga because of Enrique. Yeah, Enrique's their new coach. I think Enrique, I know it's not been announced or anything, but Enrique is certainly someone that is obviously a fan of Veiga. Vaxed Arts, big up for the donation. Not sure what channel it's gone to, but it's greatly appreciated wherever it's gone. It seems like our main goalkeeper targets are too expensive for this summer. Would it be such a bad idea to maybe try De Gea on a free if he doesn't renew as Kepa competition, even if just for a year? Look, I'm against this. It wouldn't be a disaster, but I don't see David De Gea at this point in time in his career thinking that he'd be happy to come and be a backup goalkeeper. I think he's still good enough to go and play in the first team somewhere. So yeah, I would say no. But him on a free, if he's happy to play as a backup, wouldn't be. I would take it in those circumstances, but for me, I think it's clear that he wouldn't come to Chelsea, and I don't think he'd go and play at another English club anyway. So it probably is a no in my opinion on that one. But big up for the donation, massively appreciated. No, De Gea, I followed you. There is one big head, mine. We need a player like Thiago Silva in midfield and in attack. Then we're good. What we've got here, we're too slow in this transfer. No, look, people need to calm down. I know it's annoying when you see other teams doing business and making transfers, and it looks like we haven't done much in terms of signings, but we are moving in the right direction, people. The next couple of weeks are huge in terms of incomings. They are going to be really big. Younger players are easier to mould. Older players tend to be stuck in their ways. Fair enough. I do agree on that. I do agree on that point, actually. Should we get back up for Enzo Fernandez as well? Yeah, that would be ideal. But I think we've got that. If we got Costa in goal and Caicedo, Costa's not going to happen because Chelsea aren't prepared to spend big money on a goalkeeper. Maignan and Onana are too expensive. Diogo Costa is very expensive as well. With the dark horses this year, I like it when we're underestimated. It tends to go away. I think the underdogs tag could really suit Pochettino and Chelsea. No one's really expecting too much from us this season. If we the aim's to get back into the Champions League. So yeah, I think the underdogs tag and with Pochettino at the helm, those two things could really benefit us, guys. No two ways about it. I'm a little bit confused on the striker situation because we didn't make a 60 million bid on Vlahovic. We have interest in the player, but no bid has happened. I prefer Cherki over Veiga. I feel Cherki is pure talent and we should go for him. Look, again, I think it's preference. Cherki's very talented. I think Veiga's clearly very talented as well. So yeah, let's wait and see what way we decide to go. But it looks likely that he could be going to PSG, which means we would miss out on another one of our supposed targets. Would you feel comfortable going into the season with Nico Jackson starting and waiting until next year to get a proper striker? Would I feel comfortable? No, but if it's the case that we can't get who we want this summer, then I would rather us not just spend a load of money on the striker for the sake of it and actually bide our time and get the right one, even though we do desperately need a centre forward. There's no two ways about it. If Chelsea does not get Champions League, would you be happy for Europa League football? I wouldn't be happy, but I would take it. Yeah, top 5 is Champions League now. Dead in the water, big up my guy. Yeah, no, I don't agree on the De Gea thing. Why Chelsea can't sign but no, it's not that we can't. It's that De Gea is not going to come to Chelsea. That's the reality of the situation. De Gea is not coming to Chelsea. I think we need experienced centre mid like Casemiro and United to boost up young growing players. We're not going to get Casemiro, of course. I'm not saying that you're suggesting that, and I don't think we're going to get an experienced player of that ilk either. It's going to be Caicedo and Lavia for me if I had to have a bet right now. We really need a goalkeeper. I love Kepa, but I'm always not a piece of them goal. Fair. Cherki is much better than Veiga. It's a no-brainer. Do I have Instagram? Yes, I do have Instagram. It is at Blue Brother CFC. Wait, what? Yeah, top 5 because they're changing the Champions League from the following season to some new model. There's new teams in there. We have done well so far in the market, got rid of the waste and made money, and now we'll be doing business. Yeah, this is exactly my point, Lobo. Like people, I know you want players to come in and stuff, and everyone does. But the main thing about the first few weeks, the first month, certainly June, was to get as many players out the door as possible. Now that we've done that, we can really focus on those incomings for sure. I'm excited to see Spurs versus Chelsea. Yep, that's going to be November 4th, 5th weekend, fireworks night in the UK. It's certainly going to be fireworks. It will not be good if we miss on Veiga. That kid is a hard worker and can fill that position left by Mace. Yeah, maybe he can, but ultimately, I look. I don't want to believe that Chelsea are just slow on the uptake and are missing out on deals. Maybe Pochettino doesn't want him. Maybe we've just been. Maybe we've got alternative targets that we've not heard about. Is De Gea's ball distribution any better than Kepa's? No, it's not any better than Kepa's. No, I actually think Kepa isn't that bad. He can put off big saves. Yeah, no, I don't think Kepa's nowhere near as bad as we make out. I said this on a number of channels. He's nowhere near as bad as people make out. We absolutely need an upgrade in the goalkeeping position. There's no two ways about it, but he's nowhere near as bad as people make out. Reports today said we got offered the chance to sign Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. I haven't seen those reports. What's happening with 5 Champions Leagues? Yeah, there's going to be more teams in the Champions League from the 24-25 season. Bring back Drogba as a striker coach. Wouldn't say no to that. Caparini needs to work on his crosses coming into the box. Yeah, I agree on that as well. Doesn't look comfortable. The new wage structure club has put in, I don't see any experienced players coming in. Quite possibly. That's the one, mate. That's me. Kepa needs a functioning defence to cover for his weaknesses, and he's decent on his feet. But yeah, guys, it looks like Veiga could be going to PSG, and it looks like potentially we may be missing out on another transfer target to PSG, which wouldn't be the best. People, let's have a little check-in on the likes. How are we getting on at this point? There's 300 of us locked in across both channels, guys. Let's get the likes up, people. I'm on 59, 65 people locked in on my channel, only 59 likes. Let's try and get this to 70 likes, people, 80 likes if we can, before we round the stream out. The target's always 100, but yeah, guys, if you could just hover over that thumb button if you're locked in on my channel, give it a little click. It's free. It takes seconds, and it helps me out more than you could imagine. You support me so much and the channel so much, and these streams are nothing without all of you guys that get involved in them. But if you could just do me a big favor and hit that like button, it does massively, massively help out. Let's get these likes up. And exactly the same over on Chelsea Fan TV as well, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to myself or Chelsea Fan TV, make sure you subscribe to both channels. I've popped the link to my channel in the chat. If you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it a lot. I'm looking to get to 4,000 subscribers by the time the season starts. And if you could subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV as well, myself and all the team over there would greatly appreciate it, guys. If you want to let me know if you've subscribed to myself or Chelsea Fan TV, ideally both would be great. Then let me know so that I can thank you. But let's move on to, something that we all enjoy. We're going to quickly talk about the fact that we are in talks over another youngster, it looks like. So Chelsea, according to, this must be a Brazilian journalist, Chelsea are in talks with Flamengo to sign Matheus Franca, and are willing to pay £20 million. Now, I don't know too much about Franca. It's obviously clear that he would be another player for the future, another one to go out on loan somewhere. I'm not really sure why we're just spending 20 million here and there on the Brazilians. We've just signed Angelo. Now it looks like we might be prepared to get Matheus Franca, and I'm not really sure what the plan is here. You know, is we say that we can't afford a top goalkeeper, yet we're splashing sort of 20 million here and there on Brazilians, like and kind of, as I would say, random youngsters, because it's a little bit disrespectful, but players for the future that aren't going to make an impact for the first team now. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Matheus Franca, the midfielder, I think he's an attack-minded midfielder. Maybe he's the answer. Maybe he's the player we're going to sign as that sort of Mason Mount replacement. I mean, I could be totally wrong on that, but it does seem strange that we are, looking at another Brazilian player, another sort of player for the future. We don't really seem to be getting that far on it. I mean, does anyone know anything about Matheus Franca? I've not really heard of him. I don't know an awful lot about him. Franca is actually really good. Loic, please expand. It's because they can pay them low wages. Well, yeah, it is. But are these guys ultimately going to be good enough for the first team? It looks like we're just buying every youngster going at the moment. Are we buying young players to loan them out or to use them? I think a lot of them are going to be loaned out. I mean, the idea is obviously to use as many of them as we can. But for me, I don't think it appears like we are going to, obviously, all of these aren't going to be a success. So I'm not really sure what the plan is. It's clear that, we are, look, I think it looks like we're going to become a selling club in terms of signing youngsters and then selling them on for profit. And if some work out, great. And if others don't, then fine. I mean, look, it's definitely a good long-term strategy in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, could you try? No. Yeah, I don't know. It is a strange one. It looks like we are turning into a selling club. It is. I just don't know what the situation is. We have got what have we got? We need to sign Eze. We're not going to get Eze. We keep forgetting who we have as a recruitment team. This is not Roman era. No, exactly. It's not. It's not. And this is obviously a new way of doing things. We're looking to go down a kind of a new direction, as it were. Yes, Eze is a good buy. We have got a new member. Hans, big up for becoming a member. I'm not sure. I can't tell what channel you've become a member of, but if it's my channel, massively appreciated. If it's Chelsea Fan TV, also massively appreciated. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Guys, if you want to be like Hans and become a member of my channel or Chelsea Fan TV, links are in the description to become a member if you wish to do so. Yeah, Angelo's all done. Santos and Casadei are the only ones capable to play in our first team. I think Todd wants to make some money off those youngsters. Yeah, of course. No, of course. And I think that's what we are going to become. We are going to turn into a selling club, buying up youngsters and then kind of seeing if we can get them to, if we can make profit on them or not. Angelo's already signed. Want to chat on my channel soon? Yeah, mate, I'll be happy to. If you let me know the details, we can try and sort something out. Who's a member of Chelsea Fan TV? Oh, he's a member of Chelsea Fan TV. Yeah, big up. Appreciate that, Hans. Trophy, yellow, smiling. I'm not really sure what that means. But yeah, guys, looks like Chelsea could potentially be adding another young Brazilian to the ranks. I don't know what the plan would be for Franca, but reports did say that, don't be surprised if Chelsea sign when we signed Angelo, don't be surprised if Chelsea sign 2 or 3 players from South America this month. Yeah, it's. I mean, look, it depends what you think. Like, it's a new way of doing things. We're going down a new model. So yeah, I don't know. It is an interesting one, but you do worry that we are gonna. Hold on, there's something we've got here. Is this a Brazilian? What have we got here? Some Brazilian stuff. So we've got Mateus is a top prospect. As a Flamengo supporter, I've been watching him since his breakthrough into senior football. He's played pretty much every attacking position there is, but mostly as a striker/second striker. Before I thought that a loan would be necessary, but now after the euphoria has passed, perhaps not so much. Him staying and developing as a second striker in Kunku profile in the hands of Poch is not a bad idea, even more so for what he already played for Flamengo in terms of competition and intensity. So that's from a Flamengo fan saying that, he could be ready to go and fill that role. And maybe actually, if this signing does happen, it might be it may be the Mount replacement or the Nkunku rotation option. It's quite possible. Yeah, bro, you can do. Is there going to be a new offside rule? Yeah, I think they're trialing something new. I just hope he doesn't make us Brighton number 2. No, I don't think so. I can't understand the obsession of buying youngsters. What's the point? No, I think the point of this is that it's for profit because we're going to sign these youngsters, develop them a little bit through loans, and then sell them on for a profit. And there's also the other side of it where we sign these players, younger players, for cheap, hope they develop in the way that we anticipate, and then you get decent players for the first team that don't cost an awful lot of money. Hopefully, we will accept Europa League next season. Look, I mean, no one wants to accept that, but I would take it considering we were 12th last season. Problem with our projects is we won't be able to hang on to them if they become good because of the wages. Now, I think the wages will change in terms of increments, in terms of how we do. Could members be entered into a yeah, possibly. I mean, I can speak to the guys at Chelsea Fan TV about that and see what we can do. I think I heard of a green card in footy. No, I've not heard of that. Sell Lukaku as soon as possible. Yeah. The club needs to make money, I understand, but I hope it doesn't get in the way of the progress of the club. No, I agree on that. I think the two things can run in tandem, can run in a parallel. But yeah, ultimately, it is a little bit concerning in a slight degree. The plan is to sign as much young talent as possible, looking for that 2 or 3 gems. Then the rest will be sold on. The objective is to find the player before he becomes the star and is worth 100 mil. Yeah, I absolutely agree on that. That is my point, because we've moaned as fans for so long that, why can't we find players like Brighton do and then develop them? And, we want to stop paying £80 million for players that Brighton find. We want to find players before they become the expensive players and then develop them ourselves. Real Madrid and Barcelona have been doing similar. They have. There's no pathway for these youngsters. There could well be. If you're good enough, there'll be space for you. These guys aren't going to suddenly all play straight away. That's for sure. What Bowley brought Chelsea? When Bowley brought Chelsea, didn't they have to promise to spend? I can't remember. Brazilian football isn't Premier League. No, it absolutely isn't. When is Harry? I don't know. Why sell Mount and Kovacic and buy two unproven players at the top level? No, but I think the idea, these guys aren't coming in to replace these guys. I think the strategy is twofold: improving the first team and also planning for the future. We need first team players right now. What else have we got here? I might be wrong, but maybe Franca is now on the radar due to the Veiga. Yeah, quite possibly. Lukaku was and will be the biggest transfer mistake. I think we can probably all agree on that. Black Diamond, big up for tuning in as always, and thank you for your message of support. Guys, like, share, subscribe, support the quality channel as you continue to get brilliant content on a consistent basis. Much appreciated. Guys, make sure you do that. We were paying. Oh yeah, Baba Rahman's gone now. We've terminated Baba Rahman's contract. There is no more Baba Rahman, guys. We can. That's another one out the door. I love that we are buying all these young players, but it feels like we're overdoing it now. Maybe. I think it's a good thing getting some of these Brazilian players might become the best in the world, and they're at Chelsea. Yeah, possibly. Let's wait and see. Poch likes a small squad. Yeah, he does like a small squad, Shano. We are buying young players, and I can bet there's a lot of talents in London alone. No, not necessarily. But yeah, Franco, looks like we could potentially be signing another youngster. So let's move on, people. Let's kind of see what else we have got to discuss. Oh yeah, we haven't actually talked about the shock links to potentially re-signing Tino Livramento. That was a really strange one that sort of came out of nowhere a little bit earlier on this evening. And it's according to the Daily Mail. And obviously, Pice has tweeted it, and he tends to use the reporters that are reliable. Chelsea are in shock talks to re-sign Valentino Livramento. The Blues would loan him back to Southampton next season. This doesn't make any sense on any level whatsoever. It just really doesn't. I mean, what are we doing? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, look, Livramento left because there was no pathway to the minutes that he wanted, and there was an aging Aspilicueta there. Now there's Gusto and there's Reece James. There's even less of a pathway for him to get any minutes. So this doesn't make sense on any basis whatsoever. I know Chelsea have got a buyback clause. I think it's about £40 million. But this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There were links with him going to Newcastle for around £12 million not so long ago. But yeah, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't make sense on a financial perspective. It doesn't make sense on a footballing perspective. It doesn't. I just can't get my head around it. I've never been more confused about a situation than I am on this one. There's no way that's going to happen. Absolutely no way. But that would be the only way you would possibly think about it. I personally don't understand it. I really can't get my head around this one if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, Chelsea potentially exploring the option of re-signing Livramento. Yeah, I hope this is just kind of wrong end of the stick. Kind of like it's not, it's kind of a bit of a nothing story, but it certainly is a concern. It is certainly a concern. No chance of Tchouaméni. What was this? Despite reports of a move for Lavia to Arsenal, as it stands, guys do not have interest in the midfield. Fair. Who's reported that? No chance on Tchouaméni. I forgot about Bakayoko. Yeah, he was bad as well. Drinkwater didn't work out particularly well either. What happens to the players who come through Cobham? No, I always maintain if you're good enough, you'll get a chance. It's as simple as that. Why did he want to go? Because he wasn't going to get enough minutes that he wanted to play regular first team football, and he wasn't going to get that at Chelsea. If we bid 80 million plus for James, these owners would sell. No, because it's up to the player at the end of the day. It's completely up to the player whether he wants to go. But yeah, I just thought I'd quickly bring that one up because it's an interesting link. It just doesn't make sense on it doesn't make sense on any level, guys. It really doesn't. If we bid 80 plus for James, these owners would sell. Yeah, quite. I've just done that one. But yeah, let's quickly move on to the last thing that I was going to talk through, guys, and it was kind of the news that we should have started with, but there's been a lot to get through tonight, as always. But let's have a quick look on the Pulisic stuff, guys. So obviously we had it confirmed last night. Yeah, Livramento had an ACL injury. He did. So he's recovered from that now. But I don't know what his playing situation has been like recently. I haven't really followed him. But Newcastle were reportedly keen to try and strike a deal for £12 million, but there's not really been anything new on that since that initial report came out, I think a few weeks ago now. What am I looking for? So we've had AC Milan in direct, this is from Ornstein last night, AC Milan in direct contact with Chelsea about signing Christian Pulisic, verbal offer for the 24-year-old in the region of 14 million euros, so about £12 million. Personal terms, no issue. CFC value attacker higher, and there's also interest from elsewhere. The interest from elsewhere was Lyon. Lyon offered Chelsea 25 million euros plus a meaningful sell-on clause, but that's still being negotiated at a level that Chelsea would find acceptable. So Lyon have offered a far better offer to us, but obviously Pulisic wants to go to Milan, so it's up to us to negotiate with Milan and see if we can get them to increase their offer. I think they will. You know, they've just got £50 million. I think someone mentioned it in the chat earlier. They just got £50 million for Tonali from Newcastle. So they can definitely put some of that to offering at least 20 million for Pulisic. But yeah, it looks like it's obviously between Pulisic, it's between AC Milan and Lyon for Pulisic. But Pulisic clearly favours the move to AC Milan. I think he's already agreed personal terms on a long-term contract at Milan. I agree, Shano. I can't see there's any way that Pulisic is going to go to Lyon. I would be shocked. I mean, Pulisic, maybe Lyon looking at Pulisic as a replacement for Rayan Cherki if he were to leave. So yeah, I personally can't really see that happening. Milan are going to have to absolutely up their bid because that is a derisory, disrespectful bid. No two ways about it. It's a derisory, disrespectful bid. I've got no idea how to mod people, unfortunately. I'll be honest, I don't really know what that even is. I think that selling Havertz will be a big mistake. He's been playing out of his favoured position. No, selling Havertz is not a big mistake. He's not been doing well at Chelsea at all for 3 years now. And if he goes and does well at Arsenal, so be it, because he wasn't doing well for us. What's the problem with Chelsea acquiring Veiga, Cherki, Lavia, Savic, Eze into our books, while this Caicedo saga is left to take its natural course? No, again, I'm not saying that we're not focusing on any other deals. I think we are focusing on deals, but yeah, I don't know. Pulisic leaning towards Milan is a good thing because we need a goalkeeper like Meunier. I don't think it's got anything to do with that deal. We know why. Come on. Yeah, it's just been terrible. Amari Hutchinson, think he goes on loan. Pulisic will rip it up at AC Milan. I think he'd do very well there, to be fair. We're just going to become a selling club with these youngsters, pay a ridiculous fee, develop them on loan, probably sell them for double or in the best. Yeah, I would agree on that. I'm hearing Veiga going to PSG. Yeah, no, we covered that earlier, bro. Yeah, I think it looks like PSG wants to get a deal done for him. So let's wait and see what happens on that front for sure. Let's wait and see. But yeah. What have we got? Pray for X wherever he is. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Expression is going to be feeling hard done by today with the Pochettino stuff. But yeah, guys, unless anyone's got any last minute questions, I am going to look to round this one out. Any last things anyone wants to put in the chat, please do so. But it looks like it could be a good time to round the stream out, guys. I'm not sure. Maybe a championship club, potentially. I think it'll be Thiago Silva will be the new captain. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always. Do you think you'll be able to put these lives on my channel? No, I can't put this live on the channel. No. We can do something, but I can't stream my show on your channel. No. Smash the like. Yep, guys, do that. Just get the likes up, people. No, I think it'll be Thiago Silva with Reece or Kepa as vice. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always. You know, great that we've had Pochettino announce first interview, potential movements in a Romeo Lavia deal. No new news on Caicedo, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, let's hope for more positive news tomorrow in terms of incomings. Let's wait and see what the day's got in store for us. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. The Pochettino era has officially begun. If on the way out you could continue to smash the likes, that would be massively appreciated by myself. On my channel, I'm on 77 likes. Guys, big push. Try and get to 100 likes on my channel on the way out, or at least get to 90. Please keep smashing that like button. Chelsea Fan TV, get it over 150, 200 likes. And people, please also subscribe to both channels. The link is going in for the last time. I'm going to be cheeky, guys, and ask if you could please subscribe to my channel. I'm looking to get 10 more subs on the way out. If that is going to be possible, then please, people, do your thing. That would massively help me out. And guys, get the subs up on Chelsea Fan TV as well. But as I said, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you for tuning in. Nino, just finished. You've missed it all. You've missed it all. You'll have to watch it back and enjoy it all. But yeah, guys, if you could subscribe to both channels, then that would be greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'll be back again tomorrow with another daily transfer update. Let's see what the day's got in store for us. But until then, guys, take care. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.